Hey, so obviously we've not gotten any feedback on our icebreaker speeches yet, so I don't know if using my laptop is bad. Um, but I still don't have a printer, and I figured instead of wasting a piece of paper writing down a couple bullet points, I would just use this. But this is all. That's it. Just a couple bullet points. Okay. My name is Lorelai Maynard, and my soapbox speech is going to be on why large and exotic animal owners need more regulations and more rules. We've all seen or at least heard of Tiger King, as well as horrific captivity stories such as SeaWorld and Shamu and stuff like that. We are too advanced in this day and age to still be allowing unjust treatment and care like this to be happening. We need to regulate the killing, the breeding, and the owning of large and exotic animals, as well as conducting background checks and check-ins and health visits to ensure the safety of these animals. We have all turned a blind eye to the cruel inner workings of animal entertainment for too long. We require so much paperwork and vetting for people adopting a kid or moving into the country, but then it comes to animals and that just goes out the window. There are still hundreds of black markets and illegal sellers capturing and bringing these animals into the States and selling them as pets with no prior or post investigation of these owners. Animals don't exist just to do our bidding or turn a profit, let alone turn a profit for us at the expense of their health. Joe Exotic and the whole Tiger King franchise are obviously very extreme examples, but instances like this are still happening. I don't know if any of you have seen that, we'll call it a documentary, but there was a portion in which the other zoo owners were accusing Doc Antle, who owns tigers in South Carolina, of shooting his own animals, his own tigers, when they became too large or too old to use in his zoo. Whether any of that is true or not, there should be no question whether a zoo owner is killing his own animals. This is not even a backyard kind of private situation that we can't really monitor. This is a public facility. This is a publicly advertised facility with customers that come in and participate in his park. There is no reason why we should just not know if he's killing his animals. There needs to be documentation of every birth and every death in his facility. There needs to be vets coming out and verifying when one is sick or one has died, what it died of, natural causes, documenting that, so there's no question of did it die naturally or was it shot between the eyes. This doesn't need to be happening in backyard businesses, let alone a public facility. There are still tens of thousands of illegal animals owned as pets in the US alone. Aside from large and exotic animals, there's neglect and abuse happening on every level of animal owning. I think it was 2 years ago now that a house a couple streets down from me was raided and busted with over 150 animals this woman had, all neglected and improperly cared for and abused. Like, I understand that it would be hard to monitor things on a small scale like that, but this is happening everywhere. There's no reason why she should be able to have over 150 animals and just no one know. We need more security in airports and agricultural checkpoints looking for these animals being brought in and sold legally. We need mandatory records required and kept up with on new owners of animals. We need initial background checks for owners of larger and exotic animals, routine home and facility check-ins, stricter rules, and basic requirements for the owning and feeding and veterinary care of these animals, as well as steeper punishments and fines for neglecting these rules. Animals in big box entertainment companies should be allowed for use of conservation efforts and educational efforts. There are enough animals that have been rescued from the wild and can no longer return, or that have been born in captivity that can't go back to the wild. There's no reason why we need to be allowing any amount of capturing anything from the wild to be brought in and used for entertainment purposes. Overall, there's just so much more we could be doing for the animals in our society. I understand monitoring small cases of animal hoarding and neglect would be a huge task, but there is no reason someone should be able to own a tiger or something of that level and no one know about it. We could simply start with checking in on all of these publicly advertised exotic animal encounter businesses and making sure they have proper documentation and making sure they're taking good care of their animals. And we don't even have to catch everyone that's doing it. If we catch enough and have real punishments and real fines and jail time for animal neglect and improper and illegal owning, other people are going to start to clean up their act to avoid the punishments happening to them. It's time for us to step up, take responsibility, and take action to protect our animals before there's no animals left in the wild and all the animals that we've captured and brought in have died due to improper care and captivity. We need to stop turning a blind eye before it's too late. Thank you.